here's a great chest, back, and bicep workout that you can try at your own spare time. So you're going to need one set of weights on this. You're also going to try to find a gym boss timer or use your phone. Any sort of watch obviously will do the trick as well. This is nice because it keeps you a little bit more accountable to track your time, so you can stay on those interval time frames accordingly. So definitely recommend to get one of those. So for this, we're going to be sticking with 5 different exercises. Of those 5 different exercises, everything that we do is going to be 45 seconds. Within those 45 seconds, after we will have a 15-second break to essentially get to the next exercise. So this is going to be a 10-minute workout, 5 exercises, and we're going to go 2 rounds of each of those 5 exercises. Okay, so for our first exercise that we're going to stick with, you can use this with your dumbbells, or you can just do this on the floor. There's going to be 2 options here. We're either going to be doing a standard push-up, which obviously our goal is to get our chest as close to the ground or to touch the ground with it, keeping your elbows just outside of those shoulders when we come out. We don't want to be too out wide with the elbows. You still want to keep them slightly back, keeping a good angle in the shoulders, okay? The modified version will be on your knees. With that, you can still get your chest to touch as long as we're keeping our hips down, so we know that we are keeping our back in line with our hips. We wouldn't want to be too high up with those hips because then we're not getting enough of range of motion in the chest, but also not getting enough core engaged when we're doing our push-ups. So first exercise is going to be a push-up. Second exercise, we're going to keep these weights and we are going to be standing up. We're going to be going into a rear fly. Okay, so for ladies, I would recommend probably 5s, 6s, maybe 8 pounds for this. For guys, anywhere from 8 pounds to 12 pounds. Okay, I have 12 pounders right here, but with this, we're going to be doing hands out wide. Breathe out on the way up, angle, to try to get those shoulder blades. Okay, so as far as my angle, my arms, I'm still keeping them out. I'm going to keep my hands forward with this one, not changing any positions in my wrists. Okay, so no wrist movement on that one. Third, we're just going to drop down to our knees. We're going to keep our elbows in front of your hips. We're going to try to do bicep curls. Okay, with this, I'm still keeping my hips forward here. I'm not keeping them back. I want to keep my core engaged. I want to keep my glutes engaged. And I want to try to keep those elbows from the hips slightly so we know that we're getting enough isolation in that bicep, okay? Our third exercise is going to be a plank row. So 2 versions of that. Hands can start in the middle for the first version, okay? Feet will be shoulder width here. We're going to go one arm down, the other hand down, grab the other weight, row, weight down, hand down. And we'll just keep alternating hands and sides of the body for that second round. Modified, that's our first one. Our second one's gonna be a non-modified, which if you can, the only problem is it gets a little bit much on the wrist, but if you can tolerate that, you should be good. Hands will be just under your shoulders, feet shoulder width still. I always find that if you keep your hands a little bit closer together, almost like a V, and go into your row, it's just a little easier to stabilize. Main thing as well is you want to focus on not having too much hip rotation. Okay, so you want to keep those hips stationary. You wouldn't want to lift too much with the hips there. You want to keep those hips nice and stable. Okay, and our last and final exercise is going to be our chest flies. Okay. With that, we're going to keep both of these weights right here. We can lay on your back. I'm going to do it from this angle here. We're going to keep arms up, slight bend in the elbows. We're going to come out, just so your elbows just barely touch the ground. Come back in the middle. Okay. I always like to recommend, if you can, keep your feet up 90 degrees. It's just going to be a little better for the back, keeping your back in that tabletop position. Again, core tight, breathe in, breathe out on the way inside with the hands, okay? Main thing with this is based on your range of motion. If you have more shoulder issues, you can probably bend your elbows a little bit more when you come back into the middle, but if you can, no shoulder issues, and I want you to try to keep those angles in your elbow the same, keeping your arms a little bit straighter on the way down here, okay? And that's gonna be our 5 different exercises for this round. Now that we got that stuff down, we can get to the fun part, which is the exercise portion of our workout. So, I got my timer on standby, timer set for 45 seconds on, 15-second break, and we're gonna be doing 5 different exercises, 2 rounds each, which will total us for a 10-minute workout, okay? So, timer's all set. With this, we'll get ready for our workout in 3, 2, 1. Okay, first one we're going to start out with here is going to be push-ups. Hands are going to be shoulder width. Okay, trying to get that chest touch the ground. One type of push-up I did not incorporate into our starting portion, our startup push-ups. Okay, and that's going to be get your chest to touch the ground, lift your hands up, hands back down, and then lift yourself up like if you were coming off the ground. But I'm going to finish out with regular push-ups for the last 15 seconds of this. Breathe out. On the way up, keep that core tight. Keep that back engaged and straight. 5 seconds here, a few more. Last one. All right, okay. Second part of this, I'm gonna be standing up here. I got my 12s again. I would recommend doing lighter 5s or 8s would probably be ideal here for me, to most people. Slight bend in the hips, chest out, squeeze through your shoulder blades. Main thing is I'm always keeping the same angle in my elbow this whole round, okay? Different positions of our chest and hips will hit different parts of the back. So you want to make sure that you have a good hinge at the hips, but also are keeping core engaged here, okay? Breathe out, and way up. Keep that abdominal wall engaged. Plant those feet to the ground. Last one. Okay, third exercise, we're gonna go back down to the ground. Okay. On our knees here, we're gonna be going into double arm bicep curls. So you can see it better. Okay, goes on the front. I'm gonna focus on long strides, getting all the way down with those arms. Try not to go halfway. Full extension, nice and slow. Quick on the way up. Slow on the way down. Quick on the way up. Keep that core engaged, glutes engaged. Got 20 seconds here. Even with these 12-pounders, just the fact that I have the range of motion going slow, keeping that depth, I'm getting a lot more out of that bicep every rep. 4 seconds, 3, 2. All right, planting those weights on the ground now. Okay, we're going into our plank rows. With this, I'm going to do the harder version, quote unquote harder version, which again, the other version would be putting your hands in the middle of the ground. I'm going to do it with the hands on the dumbbells. Okay, feet shoulder width. Again, hands in the middle. Main thing here is trying not to move those hips, okay? So every rep, focus on your breath. Breathe out on the way up with that hand. Try to focus on squeezing through that lat muscle right on the side of your back. Breathing is going to be huge here, especially since we're getting core engaged by being in that plank position. 5 seconds, last one. Okay, last one, we're going to lay on your back here. gonna do it from a backward angle, just so you can see my arms. Feet up. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you could also do abs and chest, which would be coming together at the same time. Again, keeping a slight bend in those elbows. Breathing out on the way in. Lower your legs go, the more lower abdomen. Get target. Keep that same angle in your elbows. All right. Back around. Going back to push-ups here. Getting right to that second circuit here. Okay, we're just going to repeat everything we did. A little better, a little faster, a few more reps, whatever that may be for you. And now we have the routine down. So second time around, let's challenge ourselves. Push ourselves a little harder. Get a few more reps in. Still focus on breathing. Again, if we need to, go as many reps as you can on push-ups. And if you need to, go into those start-ups to relieve some of that lactic acid buildup in the arms. Do so, but get as many reps as you can in. 7 seconds here. 2 more. All right. Those arms pumped up a little bit, getting that tricep engaged a little with those push-ups. Here we're going rear flies here. Chest out. Good posture. Breathe out on the way up. It's important to keep the core engaged here so we don't over dip the hips and create any weakness in the low back. Rep. Breathe out. Coming up to the final 10 seconds here. Last few. Final one. Right. Go back to the ground, back to the ground. Up to those bicep curls here. Okay, both arms, same time. And at any point you start fatiguing with this one, you could always alternate your arms. As long as we're moving, we're doing good. Just want to stay moving here, okay? Okay, get as many reps as we can. Double arms. At any point you fatigue, start alternating. Keep those elbows in front of the hips a little bit. It'll help isolate biceps a little bit more. Hold tight. Every rep, think about that bicep squeeze and engaging. 7 seconds. 2 more reps, 2 more reps. Last one past the beep. Alright. 2 more exercises here. Almost there. Home stretch. Okay. Hands together. No plank rows. Feet shoulder width. Keep those hips high. No dipping. Focus on that breathing. Every rep. Core tight. A lot of this is balance. So focusing on keeping the weight in those toes. Try not to let the hands too far away from your shoulders. Your hands want to be right under those shoulders. You don't want to make it harder on yourself. So keeping it close and tight will make it a little easier on you. 5 seconds. 1 more rep. Alright, last one. Last one here. Chest flies. Okay. those elbows. Those feet up in the air so we're getting good back engagement on the floor, so we're not arching those hips, arching the low back. Again, to make this a little harder, you can add a leg lift, then a chest fly. Leg lift, chest fly. Or do them together to make it the hardest. A few more reps. Alright, so there we go. We got our 10-minute workout for your day. If you want, repeat this again, or try one of my other workouts that are also 10 minutes. Join them in together and see if you can make a 20 or 30-minute workout for the day. Thanks for joining in.